Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay. I'm back already. I really like the idea of the lunch macro sending us back up for the 10 o'clock generated liquidity here and the daily buy side objective. Make that big. Maybe that's too big. I think I'm going to start making the minor buy side uh, and sell side be these little dotted lines. That's what I did here with the sell side. Minor and then the major sell side right there. Uh, but I really like the idea of going higher. It's not 11:30 yet. I want it to stab below these lows at a bare minimum, and it could even stab below this low and reach for these uh, sell side liquidity pools. I made another oopsie, just amateur hour today, honestly. Um, the electronic trading hours I annotated incorrectly earlier. This is it annotated correctly. I only annotated the volume imbalance, and I needed to annotate the close of this candle and the open of that candle. That's it properly annotated. I changed the color of this monthly level. This is June's monthly ranges consequence encroachment, this purple dashed line. So there you go. Fix that. Got rid of a couple levels in here and just annotated the new day opening gap for today. And I think price action should be a lot cleaner now that the morning session is over. I really like that it's leaving all this buy side intact. And then obviously it left the buy side up here intact as well. And that's that monthly octant. So I like that it's stabbing below that low. That's great. It's tempting to get in right around in here, but it isn't 11:30 yet, and it could press below that low because we do have a body closing below the midpoint of this electronic trading hours opening gap. So it'd be really nice to see it wick below this low, maybe tap a minor sell side and then snap back up above. That would be really nice to see. So, so there's a bullish S&T here as well. Hmm. Bullish S&T is nice. And it went down and just touched that and came straight back up out of it. That's kind of nice. Just measuring risk currently. Wanting to target that 10 o'clock liquidity there as a low hanging fruit objective, but really that daily buy side is just so nice. I like that we left it and then generated all this. Okay, I think we'll take out this low because we closed below the midpoint of this wick. Oh, look, there it is. And so that justifies a move below this low, and if it's going to take that one out, it'll likely take that one out. So we went and took some of that minor sell side. Just annotating the event horizon of the yellow. The low of the electronic trading hours gap and the high of the daily inversion. Body closed below, but we were taking sell side, so that's fine. Really interesting. Really, really interesting here. I think it'd be nice to use the high of the electronic trading hours gap with the expectation that it's not going to take that low, because if it was going to, it would have on this candle. Just make that an even number. I didn't quite get filled. No, it looks like I had that a tick below the high. That was a mistake. I wanted to have that at the high. But because that wick is there now, we could take that little low out, trade into this inefficiency. It's going to be really unfortunate if that small little hiccup costs me the move. I'm just going to leave my order there. Really smooth highs here. Annoying. That's annoying. And that I meant to have that at the high. And it just touched it. Looking at the 5-second chart, there's equal lows right here. These two wicks on the 1 minute formed equal lows on the 5-second chart. Be nice to see that tipped, and then I would get filled. If I don't get filled here, that would really suck, but that would offer an opportunity to practice getting in on some sort of continuation. And I struggle doing that. So this could just be offering an opportunity to practice continuation entry. But that's real clean. You know what? I don't even think it touched the high. No, it did. Yeah, that's how. I mean, pennies, ticks. We're talking ticks, pennies can make the difference sometimes. Looks like I'm going to get filled though. I should take those lows out. These little equal lows there. There's my fill. Ended up working out. So my idea right now is that if it was going to take that sell side, it would have done it on this sharp move lower. It took the minor sell side. And now we have this big wick here. And I want price to stay above the midpoint of that wick. So really, I could have my stop tightened up just a little bit. So I don't want that low taken out. That's a beautiful reaction. A little ahead of 11:30, but that's okay. Check yes. Damn, that ended up closing all the way back down. Um, here. It is showing discount sensitivity in this uh, electronic trading hours opening gap. It definitely is. We do have bodies closing below the midpoint, but I believe that was just to take liquidity. Liquidity here, and then this low in the minor sell side. Now that we've done that and accomplished that, I want the bodies to stay above the midpoint now. Equal highs right here. Go ahead and annotate that wicks midpoint. I want everything to stay above that. We'll make it the normal, just black color. There's a 5-minute wick. Oh, I did something wrong. That is a 5-minute wick midpoint right there. Beautiful. I'd like to see it start running slightly ahead of 11:30. That would be a nice signature. And then 11:30 just kind of send it. The bodies are kind of struggling to stay up here. We have a lot of wicks coming up, but the bodies are struggling. That's slightly concerning. but I think this wick is really formidable. I think it'll be hard for price to get below that wick. Hmm. Want to see the body stay above this. There you go. Just about 11:30. The 5 minutes about to close. I want to see the 5 minute stay above that black line there. Let's check ES. ES looking much weaker. Seeing a lot of nice like pops, but the bodies are really struggling to stay high up in the range of the candle. That one's not too bad. Now that it's 11:30, I want to see it move higher. Nice. Now I want to see the body close high. I don't want to see another wick. Like now it needs to be it just needs to into a buy program. There are equal highs right here. And then obviously these smooth highs right there. This is the 10 o'clock liquidity, 10 o'clock being here. Then that's the liquidity formed after 10. And then these highs are stacked with this minor buy side and then the daily buy side. That is a beautiful reaction. Really, really good. I want to see these inefficiencies support price as inversion for value gaps. I love that the bodies stayed above the midpoint there. Did exactly what I wanted it to do. Needs to overcome this inefficiency. Check ES here. ES, similar situation. Lots of buy side on ES. Trading into the inversion for value gap right here. This should support price. It should propel off that, preferably leaving this gap completely open. Just trading to the upper portion of this, and then snapping off that would be a really nice signature. I don't like that. Trading to the order block and the high of the electronic trading hours gap. Preferably, this inversion would have held it there. And then this would have stayed open. ES hasn't even taken any buy side, which is interesting. NQ has. So that means NQ is the stronger asset currently. I'd like to see the body close above the midpoint. There you go. It's good. So it reached for the order block and the high. I really want to see it accelerate to these highs relatively quickly. I don't really want to see it kind of chop around in here for too long. The 5 minute has left a sizable wick, enough to definitely note it. 5 minute wick, consequence encroachment. Throw that here. That's that wick. So we need to get a body close above that. And then if we can do that, this high is highly likely to get taken out. And if that happens, I could see it accelerate to these highs. So a body closing above this would make me feel really, really good. I like that this body stayed above the midpoint there. In fact, I'm going to label this bullish inversion for value gap. Okay, there you go. So we should see this high taken. So that gives me a lot more confidence that we'll come up to these highs. The new day opening gap will be something that it will have to overcome because it could use it as a premium array. But if we start really accelerating, especially if we get bodies above the midpoint, I think these highs are extremely likely, especially because we left that daily buy side liquidity pool. I'll go ahead and pull up the daily real fast. Zoom in here. Right there. We left that intact. Check ES again. All right, ES is taking these internal lows right there and still has the buy side. This inversion is holding us back right now. If we can get up above that, we should accelerate. Beautiful. Went to the inversion here, failed to reach the midpoint, and snapped off of it. That's really good. The 5 minute is about to close. If the 5 minute candle closes above this black line, meaning this 1 minute candle, uh, that makes me highly confident that this high will get taken out because it's a 5 minute wick. So there you go. Perfect. Perfect. Hmm. Because we're struggling at this, when we get above it, it should absolutely act as inversion because it's being utilized bearishly. So when we get above it, it's a lot higher odds that it will be used as a bullish inversion. That's nice. If this closes above that midpoint after reaching down to that, that's a really nice signature. Beautiful. I really want to see this candle run the highs. This one or the next one. I don't really like it spending so much time in here, but it is early in the lunch macro. 11:30 is right here. Um, so it is early, but optimally, preferably, it starts running. We already have a lot of buy side generated. Doesn't really need to generate any more, I don't think. Plus, we have the high resistance in the morning, so I'd like to see a really clean lunch macro. Interesting. Um, we'll probably take these internal lows. I still really like it. Um, just taking longer than expected. Okay, took those internal lows. I still want to see the upper portion of this electronic trading hours opening gap, the upper portion to behave as a discount array. I want to see discount sensitivity at the upper portion of it. Left a lot of buy side above us here. I'm still confident in this high getting taken because we did have a 5-minute close above that 5-minute wicks midpoint. Took out these equal lows here. I like to see this close above the midpoint. Good. So we swept the equal lows and snap back up into the upper portion. I really want to see an aggressive move back up from here. Check ES. Interesting. So NQ took these internal lows and ES hasn't taken that low yet. Almost 1150 macro, and we just took sell side. So I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it start spooling higher here soon. I would love it if this body closed above these levels after sweeping that internal low and left a wick. I don't prefer that. Since it's macro, it needs to just run higher here. It really needs to. This wick is still my main concern, the midpoint of this wick, but I would have preferred it to respect the levels in here. But, you know, it is taking some minor sell side right there, and then this internal low right there. ES tipped that low, bullish SMT still on InQ. But it needs to go quick. It needs to go quick. I don't want it to stay down here much longer. That doesn't look good. It's not what I want to see. It's really unfortunate. It was looking so good in here. It was looking so very good. ES wants to run for those lows. Doesn't look good. Looks bad. You know, aggressively just came back down. Ugh. It's just went to the order block. I don't like it. I really, really don't. Not looking good. Yeah. I knew I should have gotten out early here, but I just didn't. It was so hard to do it just because of how this whole fucking week has been. It's very. I knew I should have. Once this happened and then it offered this, I knew I should have just gotten out, but I just couldn't do it. It was too difficult to do it. Um, so annoying because this was looking great. It was looking so good. I don't know why I didn't take this high. It closed above that level. It should have taken the high. This closed above below that level and it took the low. So like, the logic worked to the downside but not to the upside. So I don't know. I want to afford myself one more try on this idea, but I've already, I have 3 losing trades today, so it just fucking sucks. I don't know. I I don't know. I really thought my logic was sound and this was looking really good. It was looking great, and then it just wasn't. So I don't know. It was doing everything I wanted up until it wasn't. I want to say maybe because both assets had the sell side here, it was less likely, but I just don't know, man. I just don't know anything, apparently. I want to say this is a Judas. Suspension block. Just about noon. Failed to reach that daily inversion. That is the event horizon of the low of this gap and then the high of the daily inversion. This yellow line. That sell side is right there. It is noon. This is a key, time. Lunch macro, buy side above us. We've taken all the sell side now. Back up into this would-be inversion if it's bullish. Ready to try one more time. I like to give myself 2 attempts on an idea. It's typically what I let myself do. I like the idea of going for the buy side. I think that this wick is really important to watch. In fact, I think I want to put a box over it because just to better highlight that area. Yes, left all that buy side there. This is my final attempt. We got that close above the consequence encroachment after sweeping and failed to reach that. It's $100 risk. I throw this up to my best case scenario. It is noon. The 11 o'clock hourly candle, the low was right here, and we just swept that and then closed above the midpoint of that wick. So that's why I'm taking it. And I think this is a Judas. Left equal highs up here. Took all the sell side now. This is a bear flag. They tripped sellers here, and now they're going for their stops up here. And hopefully we get a significant run back up to the buy side liquidity. It's a nice reaction. Need to overcome this inefficiency. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that sell side. We know that was taken. I want to see a breakaway gap. Something up here that didn't happen, that I wanted to happen, was this become a breakaway gap, and we ended up filling it all in. That's potentially a warning. Potentially, right? Would have preferred that to stay open. So I want a breakaway gap down here. Preferably this one. Hmm. Oh, look at that. Hmm. That was going to be a 5 minute wick consequence encroachment, but it just overlaps this one. Left equal highs right here. Not what I want to see. Not what I want to see. We do have the high of this daily inversion. Uh, I really want that to just propel us higher. But my initial idea of using this wick is no longer salient because we've taken it out, unfortunately. Um, but it would be nice to propel off the high there. We have equal highs up here, and we just took sell side. We're kind of stabbing this. It's the end of macro, and we have a brand new 5 minute candle opening. If we were to trade all the way back up to here, we would have a 5 minute order block off of this down move. I'll just go ahead and show that. This down close candle in the 5 minute, if we come up to here, I would view that as a order block. Really just needs to get going there. I hate that. I hate that. We're staying within the range of that wick with the bodies. So that is suggesting that this is just a sweep. I like that it is below the sell side and accumulating a retail bear flag. I like that. I like the idea of fading that idea. But if it doesn't hold uh, this high of the daily inversion, then not looking so good. I like that the bodies are staying inside the range of that wick. I like that. It's just kind of stabbing, but then coming back up. Lots of buy side being generated. I'm looking at a 5-second chart. These stacked wicks are forming a lot of internal buy side and then buy side here. Just about to get a new 15-minute candle. It's a 15-minute inefficiency above this high here. That'd be nice to draw to. Nice immediate rebalance. So this candle closed outside this range of this wick. Decided to use this one because it's the lower wick, so technically this is the proper one to use, and the bodies did stay within that range. Then we closed outside of it and above that small little wick's midpoint. And then we get immediate rebalance and then continuation higher. It's nice. I want to start seeing some aggressiveness above these highs. The 15-minute inefficiency, the high of it is right here, so right above this monthly level. This low was formed during that 1150 to 1210 macro. So that's a high odds swing low that could offer somewhat of a retracement or complete reversal because that is happening during the macro time. We wick below it here, but the bodies are all staying within this range. And we're reaching for that daily inversion. I really think that the lunch macro has set up really nicely to run buy side. I really, really do. This is really nice lunch macro draw on liquidity. It really is, especially because we left that daily liquidity pool intact. Almost 12:30. 12:30 should be the time that it runs liquidity, the buy side liquidity. It's 12:20 now. Be nice to see a move higher right around now at 12:20 ahead of 12:30 and then 12:30 accelerate it. Respected this discount wicks midpoint. It's a premium wick, but because we're above it, it behaves as a discount wick. So that's nice. A body closing above that midpoint would be really nice. That's looking amazing. Amazing. This is set up really nice for a breakaway gap because it's overlapping this inversion. So if it wanted to retrace, I would want it to use the upper half of this inversion and then not fill in this whole gap and leave this as a breakaway gap. So that's really nice. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and annotate. I like to do this as the trade kind of unfolds, just to help with money management. Uh, as it moves, I'll watch my P&L to see how much in profit it is. So right around that level is $100 profit. Um, so that uh, I can have a nice, like, so like if it starts to move in my direction, I can know where do I need to place my stop loss in the money for it to make $100 if it stops out. So I'll just kind of label significant areas of profit as it moves because I only trade with one contract. That's how I take partials. I wish that the number kind of just popped up on my stop as I moved it. That would make it much easier. It does that with the paper trading, but not with my actual platform. And so if this can get moving, if I mitigate up to here, that would negate the loss that I took here, which is nice. That's a nice goal to reach for. Um, I really like the idea because it's been so bullish and it left all this buy side intact, and it's like a domino effect. You can draw a line leading you all the way. There's kind of a large um, there's large distance between liquidity pools here and here. That's why I said this will be a key level. If it can overcome the new day opening gap, then the trail of liquidity would continue up to here, and then it leads you all the way up to here, basically. So I like all that stacked liquidity. All right, I want this to stay. It wicked to that low, but if the bodies stay above the midpoint, that's okay. It's permissible. I think I'll make this a dotted line just to keep it a little more subtle. So this move down went to the change in state of delivery on the 5-minute chart. That order block high is right where my horizontal line is resting. So it reached for that and then snapped off it. And I like that the bodies held above the midpoint of this breakaway. Preferably, it wouldn't have gone to the low. and it would have left some of it completely open even without a wick. But technically, it's fine to wick down there, but then close above it with the bodies. Yeah, no volume imbalance, so that's perfect. Looking pretty good. Looking good. Really nice. I love what I'm seeing here. Leaving gaps open, it's actually starting to run a little bit. And it's doing this ahead of 12:30, which is really nice. I try to clean up the chart a little. Go ahead and get rid of that. Get rid of that event horizon. Everything else seems really important. This is going to be an important inversion for value gap. So is this one. And then this is the 7 a.m. for value gap. We would need to overcome that, obviously. So we've displaced away from it. So right now it's an inversion, so it would need to overcome that. I think it will because the buy side's here. This is the main concern, getting back above the new day opening gaps midpoint. That's the main concern for me. Once we do that, especially if we get a little bit of displacement above it, I think these highs are highly likely, and then the daily buy side liquidity pool. But we do have a lot of work to do. But I really, really like that they set up just a trail. I've always noticed the best runs always have just stacked liquidity on top of stacked liquidity on top of stacked like it's just stacked liquidity, stacked liquidity, stacked liquidity, more liquidity, and then more liquidity up here. It's just like a whole line of it. Um, all right, so at this point, I feel like I should certainly go to break even. This level is $100 profit. That would mitigate my loss from in here. I want to wait. Let's look at the 5 minute. That's a nice inversion. Let's see. I'll get rid of this wick that's been utilized. It should not come back down to there, obviously. Um, it needs to overcome this inefficiency. The bodies right now are holding that. We do have a lot of stacked high. Even this little high here is now stacked right there. ES has all this here still. I'm just trying to figure out how much of a retracement is reasonable. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. 1230 is here. So I think this is just offering a discount for continuation. I'm really bad at continuations, but if I'm bullish, this should be offering continuation, not a reversal. Um, 5 minute breakaway gap high, or what should be a breakaway gap, I think, would be where my horizontal line is resting. So basically over top of the inversion. I think once it takes this high out, I can feel comfortable going to this $100 profit. Until then, I want to let it move around and do what it's going to do, I think. Set up real nice, pretty near the low, not too far off. Um, I left for a second because I got a package I've been waiting on, and I come back and this big old down close candle is here. So literally, I walk away. Um, I just don't have enough experience to know like how far can this come down within reason, and should I be at break even already, or should I give it a little bit of room? It's hard for me to know that with confidence right now. All I know is that I'm really confident in buy side getting taken. Um, at bare minimum, these ones here. Chart. Um, we have two consecutive down close candles, and the first candle, the open is where my horizontal line is resting right here, and we traded above that. So that's 15-minute change of the state of delivery. We're trading into a 15-minute inversion for value out currently. Um, but I think I want to see this inversion continue to hold price. I could see it maybe tipping that low. Preferably not. Preferably it just stays away from it, I think, and leaves a higher high and then keeps going. I think this is part of the reason why I feel most comfortable trying to get reversals instead of continuations because it's hard for me to determine on a pullback how low should it go, how low should it not go, and when to move the stop loss. If I'm able to actually capture a low or high of a reversal, if I go to break even, I should be good, assuming I have a good fill. And this is a pretty good fill. I think that's really why I feel most comfortable shooting for reversals like this. Mostly just because of when I go to break even, it shouldn't hit break even. It should just keep going if it's an actual reversal and I get a good fill. Whereas a continuation, I just don't, it's hard for me to determine like where's a good entry on a continuation. But I don't know. I really hope this gets moving higher. I really like what it's done here. The buy side is obvious. We're in lunch macro. It's 12:30. We have a break in structure here on the 1 minute, changing the state on the 15 minute. Great, great risk reward, and I think a pretty decent chance of having a pretty good move higher. So, and with all the losses this week, I'm really hoping I can turn this into a pretty decent trade. Oh. Just waiting, just being patient. Oh, I feel like it could tip these lows, and then head higher. I feel like that's possible. I feel like, oh, it's so hard to weigh all of everything. Um, I feel like because I'm down on the week and I've been struggling, this should be a break even. I should be protecting my capital. Um, Another perspective would be I'm in drawdown. This is a pretty nice profit. I could take it off to completely mitigate the loss from over here, plus a little extra. But I think the draw is much higher. Um, I also think that I don't know. It could come really close to my entry, I think, and still head higher. So a part of me wants to just have like a small amount of risk, but it's so hard to weigh everything. I feel like these lows are kind of looking suspect. Could just come tip that, maybe kiss the inversion again, maybe leave this one, and then head higher. It's very hard to know what to do. But what I do know, my risk should absolutely be mitigated because of the drawdown that I'm in. Ugh. There is a breakaway gap on the 5 minute that has not been traded to yet. I'll go ahead and annotate that. 69 even, 69 and a quarter, so that 5 minute breakaway. This 39 and a half, 30, yep. All right. That gray box is the breakaway. It hasn't traded to that yet, which is good. That's good. Um, but I feel like it could come back to the high of this inversion and tip out these lows. There's also a wick right to the left of that. It's right below it. Um, Annotating it with a box. That's right there. So yeah, I like the idea of it holding this. Uh, just eyeballing it, the mean threshold of the 5 minute order block is where my horizontal line is resting. Just eyeballing it. So I don't want to get the chart too messy. 1250 macro is just about to hit. I would love to see it accelerate higher during the macro. Oh, a new 15-minute opened up recently. Um, I think it looks great to go higher. I think I just have to be patient. It would really suck if it comes and stops break even, just because of the drawdown that I'm in. Um, but I feel like the right thing to do is to stick to my bias of these highs getting taken out at a bare minimum. I feel like I just need to stick to that while also mitigating my risk. 50 macro. I would love to see a breakaway gap right here as well. Just run the buy side. Because they've ran it so aggressively like that, I kind of like the idea. I like that they're sweeping a sell side liquidity. They generated sell side and then they have taken it out. Um, I like the idea of it coming up even higher. Um, because retail would be shorting the breakdown below these lows. And then all these little cup and handles or double tops or whatever you want to call them, retail's going to be shorting that as well. Because it's up so much, they're going to be thinking a high is near. But the high, I think, will be above this daily buy side. liquidity pool, and they left that intact. So I don't think the high has been met yet, but I think retail thinks the high has been met, and they're trying to get in um, near highs short. But I think it's going to come back up again. I would like this move to be more aggressive than this move because this could be the second stage distribution, and that's typically more aggressive. So I'd like to, and all this is just so stacked up. I'd love to see it just go really fast, especially at 1 o'clock. Go check out that hourly, see what that looks like. Big old hourly candle, and I'm positioned near the low inside the wick of inside the discount wick of that candle. So that's great. The small hourly inefficiency where my horizontal line is resting. That's something to draw towards. Obviously, the buy side is there. I really love the idea of this just ripping above these highs. I really like it. Mm. So we did get a 5-minute close. Um, there's a 5-minute wick over here from earlier. I talked about it. I'll go ahead and just throw it in. That 5-minute wick, midpoint, we got a 1-minute close and a 5-minute close above that level, which means it should take this high. Okay, the high of that wick. And it didn't. So, but we did get the body closing above that earlier. So I like that as just a contributing factor as to why we should take these highs out. That the move up above this high has just been deferred, just been delayed. Just about 1 o'clock. I think 1 o'clock will be significant. It did generate sell side here, so I wouldn't be shocked if they tip some of that and then come up higher. Yes, has a little inefficiency there. That's nice. Engaged minor sell side. Switch back on. Traded right to that. And the low of the electronic trading hours opening gap. But there are stacked lows in here. So it'll be interesting to see if it takes those and then goes to this inversion. Smooth highs right here. It is engaging that sell side. Under different circumstances, I think adding below the liquidity here would be a nice place to add, considering I'm at break even on the initial entry. So risk would still be controlled. But I'm not going to do that. But that's just a thought. So if it's going to be bullish, I really want it to leave this low. It's taken the minor sell side, and now I want to see it rip higher really quickly. And this be an inversion for value gap. Ended up tipping that low. It's not the end of the world. But I want to see a strong reaction higher after taking the sell side. And certainly the body needs to close above this midpoint. I want to see speed going higher. Lots of speed. Check ES. ES ended up leaving that low that I talked about. So there's bullishness of T on ES now. Equal highs above the market. Be able to reach the midpoint of this 5-minute wick right there. Body's staying above the midpoint of this inversion. Needs to pop up here. Needs to do it. Certainly on this next 5-minute candle. I think it closed a tick below that. Yeah, it did. This needs to run higher here. It needs to. I like where the stop's at. I do. It shouldn't come down to here. It could still run off this 5-minute wick. But this is more than I wanted to see from the retracement. Well, I think the odds of me getting stopped break even are decently high, considering the body closed below that midpoint of the 5-minute wick. I love the idea of it going higher still. Um, it could still work out, but I don't like how deep of a retracement this is. I like where the stop is placed. I think it's a good spot. Um, nice reaction there. That's great. That's really good. Of course, the 5-minute, so this is a 5-minute wick. The 5-minute has not closed below that midpoint. And there is a liquidity pool here. There's a pivot low here that it was taking. So, you know, it's not the end of the world, but I really want to see a lot of aggressive movement higher at this point. It has done enough of taking sell side. It doesn't need to do any more than it's already done. It's time to start heading higher, certainly. So I'm a-okay with the stop being at break even. If it stops break even, that's highly unfortunate, considering my week. So just have to be patient. Check ES real quick. ES still hasn't taken that low. So still has the bullish S&T and the equal highs. Oh, I don't like that. I wanted that to be a breakaway gap. This one here. About to get a new 15-minute candle open. There's that order block right here on the 1 minute, the mean threshold. It held that nicely. It needs to not take out the slow. It needs to hold the mean threshold here and head higher. That looks positive. So the 5 minute, I'll just throw up a 5 minute real quick. The 5 minute chart did not close below the midpoint of this wick. Closed up here. And then it came down and touched the midpoint there and then snapped off of it. That's what we just saw on this 1 minute candle. This is looking good to go higher, I think. Higher time frame is bullish. It left the daily buy side intact. All day we've generated buy side liquidity. I feel good about it, but it's taken a long time. It's taken a really long time. Oh, I don't like that the bodies are closing below that midpoint of this inversion. Another body closed below it there. I don't like that. Next 5 minute candle closes in 15 seconds. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this inversion. Um, just because at this moment in time, the wick seems more important, the 5 minute wick. I'm really trying to be patient, but realistically, I don't think it should be doing what it's doing. Uh, it should have ran back up quicker than it is. After taking these lows, I think. It's just spending a lot of time in here. What's the yes doing? That's not what you want to see. It's taking out sell side, but goes below the mean threshold of this 1 minute order block. It's just not looking very amazing. I don't know. I really like the idea of higher prices, but it is just making it really hard. It's taking forever. Full highs right here still. Just took sell side. I love it. If it snapped up to there. Oh, I'm exhausted. I am so tired. Just waiting on this thing. And my whole week in general has just been really hard. And then I think this is a great idea for a trade, but it's just not panning out. It's just taking forever. I don't want to say it's not gonna pan out, but it's taking a long time. I mean, this is technically OTE, break and structure, and this is OTE of this uh, leg higher. So that's why I don't want to just like say it's not gonna work. Because look at that. Um, but I don't know. I'm just afraid my timing's off. And if it stops break even, I don't know if I'll want to try again. Technically, I could because I afford myself. I say 2 attempts, but really 2 stop outs, like losses on an idea. And since this would technically be break even, I could technically try again, but I'm exhausted. And I'd really prefer it just start going higher. Pull up the 5 minute again. The 5 minute has this is a 5 minute wick. It's right here. And the 5 minute has not had a body close below that. In fact, all the bodies on the 5 minute chart are closing really high inside of this wick. So this looks really good on the 5 minute. That's why I don't want to throw out the idea. It looks really good on a higher time frame perspective, and OTE of this range. All that looks great. And the buy side looks great. It all looks great. It's just taking a very long time. Yes, tipped those lows there and then left that one intact. See, that's what I said I'd like to happen on InQ. But InQ ended up taking that low, but ES did not. So that's good. Goodness. Because the lunch macro didn't offer the move that I was wanting and expecting, I I don't really know what that means. Does that mean I'm wrong and it's really bearish, or is it just being deferred for the afternoon session? I don't know. I know the buy side's gonna get taken. I just, at this point, I don't know when. I was really hoping that that lunch macro would have done it. Pull up the 5 minute. I want this 5 minute to continue closing as high as possible here. It closes in 10 seconds. Definitely over the midpoint. Touch the midpoint last second. This sucks. This sucks to deal with. Part of me just wants to take what little profit I have, but I just don't know. Let's see what ES is doing. It's 130. Hmm. Just seems heavy. Just seems really heavy. Oh, I blinked and it took that low. Quick. That's our last line of defense right there. Come on, snap back up. Oh, these are really smooth right here. ES did not take that low. Bullish SMT on ES. Really making you work for it. Just seems so heavy. 5 minute closes in 1 minute. Go ahead and just show that. This is that wick. I love that the bodies are staying above that midpoint and it's just stabbing. I like that. But oh my goodness, it is just taking so long to do anything. This is snapping back down. Like, oh, it's stuck. I want this body to close above the midpoint in the next 20 seconds. It was so far away from the midpoint just moments ago, and now it's like a coin flip whether or not it closes above it. All right, there you go. That's good, I guess. Back to the 1 minute. Hmm. I'm curious to see that wick. Oops. I just want to see where we closed relative to that wick's midpoint. Closed a tick above it, so that means this high should get taken. That's what I'm waiting on. Oh, brother. Pretty typical before non-farm. But I mean, the idea was just that we had high resistance during the morning session. So I was wanting the afternoon lunch macro to be a little cleaner, to go like run all this. But so far that has not panned out. It is absolutely stuck. 5 minute closes in 20 seconds. Pull that up. Same as before. Want the body closing above that midpoint. There you go. Back to the 1 minute. Oh my gosh, we ran highs. Oh. I would just love it if it would start running right now. Don't even wait for the 150 macro. Just start going right now and then 150 accelerate it. That would make me so happy. I have been patient. No question. This is taking a very long time. I have been disciplined. The buy side is obvious. ES took internal highs there. It's a 5 minute wick I just put on the chart right there. It's the lowest 5 minute wick inside of this consolidation. So I'm just noting the midpoint of that. Just about to get a new 15-minute candle. I guess we'll watch the 5 minute because it's just become tradition now. This 5 minute close. Okay. Better stop there. That drop happened quick. Check ES. I guess I'll annotate this. I don't think most people would have the patience for this. I don't think so. Oh my gosh. Do we think it'll happen? Is this it? Just about 150. Oh my goodness. We'll watch the 5-minute candle close because it's tradition. It's a small little gap right there. Back to the 1 minute. Come on, 2 o'clock. Oh. Um, ICT just recently talked about the hangman, I don't know what you want to call it, pattern or uh, characteristic. I don't know. But this is the 1 minute order block, and the body closed below the mean threshold. Okay. But then it came down, swept below it, and then closed above it. And so he talked about it's like someone, getting hung. They're trying to short here, and it snaps back up higher, and it did it twice here as well. And then it's holding that wick there, and we're in OTE of this like higher, and then we have really smooth highs right here, and we're inside of 150 to 210 macro, holding this inversion for value gap. So it could absolutely still work out, I think. Um, but oh my freaking goodness, it's taking a long time. And I'm all out of coffee, and that does not help. Back to the 5 minute. Closed above the consequence encroachment. Back to the 1 minute. Focus on this wick. Hmm. Trump speaks at 4:30. That could easily be why this lunch macro has sucked so much. Um, it's labeled as medium impact, but I feel like if Trump's speaking, that's just the perfect reason to hold the market in a range. Um, it's clearly what they're doing. The buy side is so obvious too. It could be that they just don't even take the buy side during regular trading hours, and after his speech at 4:30, they just pump it to the buy side during the overnight session. Oh, that would not surprise me at all, unfortunately. I guess I'll put that. Well, I don't know. I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I am gonna go to the restroom and guess I'll see what happens while I'm gone. So, oh, Oh my gosh, wouldn't you know it? Nothing happened. It's 2 o'clock though, so something should happen. Something should happen at 2 o'clock. 5 minute, still go to the 5 minute. Oh, still closing above that midpoint, which is great. It's just spending so much time in here. So, on 2 o'clock. Check ES. Gross. It makes sense. I mean, non-farms on Friday, Trump speaking at 4:30. So I guess I shouldn't be shocked. I think I'm just getting beat up by the news this week, honestly. I mean, non-farm being on Friday has made the market rip uncontrollably, like insane rip higher. I don't think it would have done it that aggressively if non-farm wasn't on Friday. And then today, Trump speaking at 4:30 and it being Wednesday right before non-farm, it makes sense that the market is so challenging. But the buy side is obvious, really obvious. So I'll take a look at the hourly. We'll see. It's nice that all the bodies right here closed above the midpoint of this small inversion for value gap. I'll label it as such. We'll be optimistic. That's nice. And the obvious buy side right here. Ah, come on, 2 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Oh, the urge to get out right now for like, just shy of $100 profit or whatever is so tempting because I've waited so long and the week has been so challenging. I want to give myself the little cookie, the little reward. Um, but the buy side is so obvious. The buy side above the market is so obvious. And the 5 minute respecting that wick is amazing. It's just time distortion. It's 2 o'clock now. I think this could be it. This if it was gonna go, this would be the time. Um, I don't know about this high because it's so late in the day now, but we'll see if we get moving. Oh, almost broke tradition. Check that 5 minute candle. That's nice. like it to leave this open by a smidge and just go higher. Yes, yes. Much cleaner move higher, honestly, than NQ. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Goes without saying, I didn't want it to come back in like that. I wanted to see displacement above these highs. This is technically a breakaway gap. If it's bearish, it won't trade there. If it's bullish, it will. So I wanted to see it come up to that. I don't like it's back in the range. I've waited so long. It's almost like why would I get out now? I've been this patient. Why not wait longer? But I have no idea if this is going to work or not at this point. No idea. It could stop at break even. It could go higher. I have no clue. I've had no clue for a while after this started happening. I was became very skeptical. Um, I'm not skeptical in the draw higher, but my timing could easily just be off because of Trump's speech at 4:30. I feel like if I wasn't down so much on the week, I would just potentially I would feel way better about just taking a small profit here because of how long it's taking. But because I'm down on the week and I'm at break even, there's a great opportunity to mitigate a lot of that loss on this trade. So I'm really trying to be patient. Um, but was the week not so bad at the start? I'd be happy getting out for just a little bit because I just have to sit here and wait, and it's taking a long time. I am exhausted at this point. Um, this is exhausting. So, I don't know. I'm not going to show the 5 minute candle anymore. Hell, I'll do it. Here you go. There we go. That's the 5 minute candle. Failed to reach the midpoint. That's good. closed away from it, failed to reach the midpoint. So that's great. And then closed outside of it, away from it, above this wick's midpoint. So we'll see. Currently, this VOD is 3 hours long. I've been sitting here for 3 hours trying to trade this lunch macro. So I hope that there are no issues getting it uploaded to YouTube. We're getting bodies closing above the midpoint of this wick. 2 bodies now. That's good. I say it's good, but it's stuck in a range. So how good is it? I don't know. Oh, kind of good. It'd be really good if it started displacing higher. All these, you see all these smooth lows in ES here. NQ has got some smooth lows. If it doesn't displace here, I think I don't know, it might come and take that. Nothing happened at 2 o'clock. Oh my goodness. New 15-minute and 5-minute is opening in right now. No, it's interesting. 130 is right here where my mouse is, right there. There was no inefficiency formed up until right here. This is the first inefficiency formed after 130. It's a bearish for value gap, but we're trading above it. So that means it is a bullish inversion for value gap. And all the bodies have respected it here during the PM session after 2 o'clock. And then we just got that reaction off of it right there. That's really interesting. That's the most positive thing I've seen in a very long time. Fortunately, the sell side is looking kind of suspect. It's just failing to get out of this range here. Something I had annotated earlier was the low of this gap and then the high of the daily inversion, the event horizon of those two levels. Okay, I was just curious to see what it did here. It closed below it, just like it's really overlapping that order block's mean threshold. So close below it, then stab below this low, and then never close back below it after that. And then stab below the lows twice, here and here. Touched it there. Now we're away from it. Oh, so that's interesting. It's failing to reach this version now 3 times. Went to the midpoint of that wick as well. 5 minute candle opens up in 30 seconds. Hmm. After the 5 minute, got to close significantly above this wick. When it came back down to the wick, it failed to reach the midpoint and respected the upper quadrant. So that's nice. That sell side is getting engaged. We left the buy side here. Hmm. Well, it's probably done. There it is. Over 3 hours later, I'm at break even on this entry, and I took a loss on this entry, so I am exhausted. The worst part is I think it's going to come back up because it left all this here. Um, 5 minute. Crazy that it held this for so long only to give it up. Best thing to do is probably just to be done for the day. I feel really good about it coming back up. Um, but the Trump speech at 4:30, I don't know how long it's just going to keep doing this. Oh well, got short here, stop break even, and I got stopped on two other attempts, so took a loss up here, even though I was right on the direction. And then I tried going long during the lunch macro, and I got stopped initially for a loss. Got back in down here on the Judas, and I was looking for buy side liquidity. Failed to reach it, and I got stopped break even on that one. So I took two and then one, so three losses on the day, even though I was correct on both directions. So that's tough. Not, I mean, I'm upset. I'm not I'm really just tired. I'm exhausted. This was exhausting just waiting. Um, I'm very frustrated with the week. Um, very frustrated. But I want to be done. So that'll be it.